Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. In the last part, we explored pretty much the rest of Archdragon Peak here. We got a lot of optional items, we got to fight Havel the Rock, we got a bunch of shit done. In this part, we're going to be fighting the hardest optional boss in the game. Um, really just because I want to. No, not really any other reason, because besides the fact that you can get his armor and some of his, like, weapons and shit, there is really no other reason to fight him. But all you have to do is pull this lever. After you pull the lever, this beautiful area, once known as Archdragon Peak, becomes a landscape of pure madness and stormy weather. This boss is not easy. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy whatsoever. But we're still gonna give him a go anyway, because I said I would. So what we're going to do, before we fight this boss, excuse me for a second, we're going to equip the yellow bug pellets. I apologize for all this. We're going to equip the bug pellets. I think we'll put a little bit more defense on us if we can. Oh, hold on. We can put this on. It'll give us 0.4 more defense. I don't know if that's really worth it, but no harm in it, I guess, if it's giving you extra defense for no real cost. Yeah, we'll be using the yellow bug pellets and the thunderstone plate ring here that we just got, because we're gonna need it. Actually, I'm gonna use the firestone plate ring first, and then I'll switch to the thunderstone plate ring later. I guess I kind of inadvertently spoiled it. This is a two-phase boss fight, which is part of what makes it so difficult. But I digress. Enough delaying this shit. Let's get it on. Now, I'm going to mute my mic for this because it's another one of those boss fights that's really, really fucking cool. I will turn up the music a little bit. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope that this doesn't take me too long. So, here we go. Well, we weren't even able to defeat its first form. Um, Another difficulty really to this boss fight is the camera angle in this boss fight. The fact that the camera is is either up your ass or up the dragon's ass half the time can make this fight really fucking annoying. Which is honestly part of what makes this boss fight so difficult in the first place. It would honestly be a lot easier if the camera wasn't so damn retarded, but anyway, we'll give it another shot. Hopefully it goes better this time. Another one of those situations where I wanted to heal myself with my Ember before he had a chance to attack me. Unfortunately, I was a little too late on the punch there. The reason I'm waiting to use my Embers is because an Ember is a full heal, and while it does take longer to use an Ember than to use an Estus, I feel like it's better strategy to use an Ember before any of your Estus, so you have more reserve healing. Let's try again. what does it say about my skill level when I die to the King of Storms 3 times, but I defeat the Nameless King on my first try? I honestly am amazed I was able to beat his second phase on my first try. That really, honestly, never happens. But I digress, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Nameless King. That was the most difficult optional boss in the game, at least according to the Souls community. And your reward for beating him is another Titanite slab, so there you go. And a bonfire, of course. But yeah, in the Souls community, there's a lot of, like, talk between what is actually the hardest boss in this game. A lot of people come to, like, a different answer to that question. Honestly, it really just depends on your ability to memorize attack patterns and dodge them accordingly. It's not really down to whether or not it's a difficult boss. It's more or less down to your skill level and your patience with the boss and its attack patterns and movesets. As long as you are always standing straight and thinking on your feet, you can make the most challenging bosses in this game a fucking cakewalk. That's how I like to look at it, at least. But obviously a lot of people will just also chalk it down to sheer luck at the same time. Another reward you can get after you beat the Nameless King and come through here is the Dragon Slayer armor and the Dragon Slayer spear. Similar to Smo's armor set and Smo's hammer that we found in Anne Orlando and Irithyll earlier on in our playthrough, this is the counterpart to that, the Dragon Slayer armor. It's pretty much like Ornstein and Smo from Dark Souls 1, and you can get both of their armor sets and their weapons in this game as well, which is really, really awesome. I love that From Software made that a thing, just getting, like, armor sets from different games. It's really cool. Call back to, like, other nostalgic things from other Souls games. But I digress. There is probably enough time left in this episode for me to fight the final boss, but again, I really wanted to make this episode, I really wanted to leave this episode to the Nameless King. I wanted to make it like its own thing. Fighting the final boss in this episode would sort of detract from the hype of the Nameless King fight, in my opinion. But once you defeat him, you can actually get 3 things from using his soul here, not just 2. You can get the Lightning Storm, which is an okay miracle spell. It is kind of similar to that Divine Pillars of Light spell that we found earlier on in Lothric Castle, but it will call down Pillars of Lightning instead. It's okay at, like, crowd control, I guess, but I wouldn't say it's a great miracle. That's just how I see it. And you can get his curved sword here. It's kind of a quality weapon with a really cool weapon art. So that's nice. And you can also get his sword spear, the weapon he was using in that fight. Now, this is another sort of quality weapon with phase scaling. And it also has lightning damage on it. But the weapon art of the Dragon Slayer Sword Spear is the same as that move he used in the fight, where he thrust his spear into the air to call lightning down upon me, and strike lightning on me. And that weapon art will let you do that to your opponent as well. So, that's a pretty cool weapon art. I believe the old lady merchant here will actually sell his armor set too. Yes. The Dragon Scale armor set. It is very decent defense stats. And it's also not too heavy. So if you're looking for just an all-around sort of armor set with decent defense, but not too heavy. Like, sort of like a medium built armor set. Then the Nameless King's armor set's actually pretty good for that. But yeah. I'm actually gonna try it out right now. Let's see here. Where is it? Dragon Scale. Oh, it is actually heavier than the brass armor. I thought it was a lighter armor set. I guess I was totally wrong about that. Obviously. Well, I can at least wear the waistcloth and then have the brass armor here instead. I don't think we're actually going to be using the Soul of the Nameless King. I'm not going to be turning it into any weapons or anything, but I don't feel right consuming his soul either. Because there's a lot of useful stuff you can make from his soul, and even if I'm not going to use it, I might as well hold on to it. For being one of the hardest optional bosses in the game, if not the hardest optional boss in the game, using his soul would require you to fight him on New Game Plus to get another one of his souls. That's not very easy. Especially on New Game Plus, so yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to his soul. And yeah, guys, I think we'll leave it here. This episode's gonna end off pretty early, but I just wanted to show off the Nameless King. I wanted to show off what you can do with his soul and all that stuff. So, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'm really glad I was able to kill him as soon as I did. I was worried it was going to take like a few episodes, but it only took one. So yeah, thank you guys very much again for watching, and I will see you next time.